Well, puppies and Maria, do you know what day it is? We're a little past due, but I've been a little under the weather, so that's my excuse, but it's naming day. It's our temporary naming day. I know. You probably all have your names for each other already, don't ya? You probably call each other special names. But our puppies were actually born during Jazz Appreciation Month. So I reached out to my friend Pat. He actually has one of Jolene and Chapo's puppies, Mr. Glasgow. And Pat is a professional musician, and I reached out to him and said I needed help with some jazz artists, and he was happy to help. And some of you have met Pat in Glasgow and his lovely wife Paula. But we have some names here, so we're going to try to make this work. I think it's going to be organized chaos. We're going to say it's organized, but it's probably just going to be chaos. But we're gonna give it a try. We're gonna go in birth order here, so we need Pinky first. Where did Pink go? There she is. Okay, so we've got the jazz artist you are named after, Missy, is Ella Fitzgerald. And a lot of people know Ella. She's very, very famous. She was dubbed the First Lady of Song and was the most popular female jazz singer in the United States for more than 50 years. And in her lifetime, she won a number of Grammy Awards and sold over 40 million albums. Are you going to sell 40 million albums? That's okay. You don't need to. You don't need to. You can just be cute. And that's your famous jazz singer, Miss Pinky. And I figured that was perfect. The picture I found here. Are you sneaking away? The picture I found had pink on it, and I figured it was just meant to be for you. And so we're gonna put you in our famous puppy holding area to make life a little less hectic. And oh, Blue, you must know that you're next. There you go. You're named after Bix Beiderbecke. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And a lot of people might not know who Bix was. I happen to know because I'm from the Quad Cities, so Davenport, Iowa is where I grew up. And that's where Bix was from. We got lots of puppies wanting to learn about Bix. And although his time was short, he profoundly influenced early jazz development. Born in Davenport, he was a prodigy in music. I was not. I played trumpet and cornet, and I was told I was good, but I'm sure that Bix was much, much, much better. Oh, are you getting me? He's over his name. Little Bix. But yeah, Bix actually ended up influencing a lot of early jazz. And unfortunately, he had a bit of a drinking problem. And even though he was of age during Prohibition, it got the best of him. But largely due to his huge talent and his tragic lifestyle, he's been a jazz legend. And if you happen to go to Davenport during July, and it always ends up being the hottest days of July, they have a big music festival. And if you're athletically inclined, they have a 7-mile road race that, again, is always on the hottest day of the year, I believe. But it's been a tradition for many years, and they have a big jazz festival and got the race and all kinds of fun stuff. So there's Mr. Bix. We're going to put you in the famous jazz puppy holding area there, Bix. With your friend Ella. And then next, who do we have here? Next we have Miss Purple. Where is Purple Murple? There you are. And she also gets an award, along with her sister Orange, for being the most helpful cleaning puppy. She loves the vacuum cleaner and very much wants to try to help everything I do in the cleaning area. And Purple is now Billie Holiday. That's who you are. You're Billie now. Little Billie. And she was another American jazz singer and songwriter. She was also nicknamed Lady Day by her friend and musical partner, Lester Young. And she was a huge influence in jazz and pop singing. So a number of famous songs from her. So you are Billie Holiday now, Miss Purple. We'll put you back with your other jazz singers. So there's her. And now we've got Mr. Green. You're next. It's like you knew it, too. Let's push you over here. There you are. You are Dizzy Gillespie. And I remember, and actually if you can see Dizzy's picture, he was known for having kind of a strange angle on his trumpet and his puffed out cheeks. Yes, you did. And I remember my very first trumpet lesson. Mr. Parman came over to our house, and my Scottish Terrier, Molly, sat in the living room while I had my first lesson, and she howled because apparently I was not very good. But the first time I tried to play on the trumpet, I puffed my cheeks out, and Mr. Parman said I was not Dizzy Gillespie, and I could not do that. So I got a Scotty memory and a trumpet memory there. So you are Dizzy Gillespie, and a couple things on him. He created his own band and developed his own signature style known as bebop, and I know a lot of us have heard of that. And he worked with a number of musical greats. Oh, are you getting tired here, Mr. Dizzy? I think that's a good name for you, little Dizzy Gillespie. But he was considered one of the most influential figures in jazz and bebop. So there you go. Put you over here, Dizzy. And we've got 2 puppies left. Oh, and they're trying to help. I had some notes, but I haven't really needed them. So our next puppy is Miss Yellow. There you are. And you are Sassy or Sassy Vaughan. That is you. Are you checking it out, reading everything? Is she sassy, Maria? I think that's pretty appropriate for little Miss Yellow. Yes, it is. As she runs away. So, Sassy Vaughan was actually Sarah Vaughan. And this is one of the singers that Pat had suggested. And she had a jazz career that was launched at the renowned Apollo Theater Amateur Night Contest. What I read was that she signed up for the contest hoping to win $10, and she ended up winning a whole lot more. Ended up with a huge career. And not long before the end of her life, in 1990, she was inducted into the Jazz Hall of Fame. But she was known by many of her friends as Sassy, and you are very fitting for that. I'll put you over here, Sassy. And then finally, we have an empty food bowl. An empty food bowl. And finally, Little Miss Orange. We decided to name her temporarily after one of my favorite singers, Norah Jones. And Norah's a more modern singer. A lot of us remember her songs. I think her first album was Come Away With Me. And she just has kind of an easygoing, jazzy, kind of country thing going on. But you are now Miss Norah Jones, yes. And if you haven't heard of Norah Jones, you need to look her up. She's got some cool music. I guess we're running away now. Are we running away? We're all done. You don't like that collar, do you? But yeah, she's sold millions and millions of albums. And she's had several hit songs. And her parents actually are both from the music industry. Her dad was big in Indian, as in the country Indian music. And Mom was a music producer. So she was just meant to be a musical great. So now you are... Miss Orange is now Norah. You're very sweet. You seem like a Norah. And Norah, it was, as I mentioned earlier, one of my great helpers cleaning. At least she says she's a great helper. I may beg to differ on that, but shall we release the rest of your artists here? See if I can pull this board up. There we go. There we go. So now everyone's got names. Let's see if I can keep them straight. So we got Norah, there's Ella, there's Dizzy. I think you heard me say his name. Oh, looks like I just cleaned up the potty area and we just went. There's Sassy. And I did have, like I said, some notes, but some puppies helped me with them. We've got Bix. And we're all waking up here. Yeah, everyone's got a temporary name. And these are just fun names. So their owners will come up with with permanent names, and this will just be something kind of fun for now. What do you think? And then we also have Miss Purple, who's now Billie for Billie Holiday. I'm seeing, is this when you walk in your food bowl, is that a hint that you're out? A slight hint? I better get you some more food, little Bix. And thank you to Patrick for helping me with these names. I asked him for some suggestions, and he had them back to me in no time. So it was kind of fun. Fun having a helper. Well, I better get Bix some more food before he completely takes over the food bowl, since he's leaving it now. I'll get you some food, buddy.